Why do we have 9 out of 19 UN peacekeeping operations in Africa?
Yes, there are 19 peacekeeping operations, and a disproportionate number are in Africa. And you know that over the period since the 60s, since independence, conflicts have arisen in Africa, in Asia, newly independent countries. And I think that the question that is posed is, why is the attempt at nation building in developing countries leading to disintegration? The attempt at succession leads to relative instability. For example, elections are going to be held in country A or B or as many countries as possible in Africa, and everybody catches fever and pneumonia. Why? It doesn't happen elsewhere. So why is succession so difficult for us? This is the question we must ask ourselves, first as citizens, and then as members of the international community. And I underline this to my colleagues. Rather than react to situations, why don't we have an in-depth thinking, a rethinking of succession, transition, and elections in Africa? Can we have peaceful successions? Can we have peaceful transitions? Why are we getting infected with pneumonia and fever because elections are coming up? There must be something underlying that is not conducive in the environment. And I think that that's what we should address.
On the issue of Boko Haram, is there any support from UN to assist Nigeria?
Well, it's unfortunate that we have become, through Boko Haram, an agenda item on the Security Council. It is unfortunate. You know, foreign policy begins at home. It is what happens at home that reverberates outside. Unfortunately, Boko Haram has been listed along the lines of Al-Qaeda as a terrorist group. Terrorism, yes, has become a global crisis. It is unfortunate that it's happening in our environment. And I believe that we need a concerted action. That's why the UN is there. The UN is not an amorphous organization. We are the UN. The 193 member states are the UN. And so whatever touches one, touches everybody else, especially with the issue of terrorism. So listing Boko Haram on the agenda enables us to place it under the microscope as an issue, not for punitive action, but for action that will make it possible to eliminate that threat. That is what is happening now. And the other side of the coin is that since 2008, representing Nigeria, I've been elected for the 6th time to chair the peacekeeping operations. And I think it is a positivity for Nigeria that I represent. It is evidence of the confidence of the 151 member states of peacekeeping operations. Yes, we may have lost our position as the 4th largest troop contributor to the United Nations peacekeeping operations, but they still want to keep us, to guide the work of this committee. And I want to underline that peacekeeping is the flagship of the United Nations. We do hope that with the post-2015 development debate, that development issues will take precedence. But you see, there's a nexus between the two. Without peace, there can be no security. Without security, there can be no development. So, the chicken or the egg, which comes first? We need peace, we need security, for development. We need a more peaceful world for succeeding generations. We should not be embroiled in conflict to the detriment of constructive strategies in handing over the baton to succeeding generations. This is what we owe them. Peaceful world, a secure world in which they can best utilize their talents.